So welcome guys to another video, and in this video I want to talk about the CD setups on B, especially about the one where you have 3 players on B and 2 guys on A. I'm gonna do a separate video for the A guys, but this time I want to talk about the CD setup on B with 3 players. So preferably you have an AWPer on B, and I'll tell you why later on. So let me tell you how you could open up the round. So one thing you could do, you could have one guy coming here and he's just trying to figure out if they're rushing or not. And if they're rushing, he can throw flashes, obviously not like this, or nades, or molly, but I don't think mollies are really effective, because most of the times when the T's are rushing B, they're gonna use this smoke to avoid getting mollied. So one thing you could do, you could just wait here, and if they're rushing, you could throw a molly like this. So once they drop out, they're in the fire. So that's something you could do. Or you could just molly like this, so they can't push up like into the stairs area. That's something you could do. Or you could just nade them, or if you know that they're using the smoke, you could just flash and you just come up here and try to get kills. In my opinion, it's really important when you have like just 3 players on B to just wait if they're rushing, and if they don't rush, you need to take Titanic control, because you can't really afford to, you can't allow it to happen that you're just playing defensively, because once the T's are in this area right here and they're starting to fight you and you're just with 3 guys on B, there's no way you can hold this side unless you hit like some crazy shots or you have a fast rotator, but I'll come back to that later. So you could have just come here, and then what you do, you have your AWPer. Let me it should be like that. So your AWPer can come here and he's running like that, so he doesn't get flashed. And when your teammates is telling you that they're rushing B, you just come out and molly like this. So that's a very simple molly you can do to slow them down. And then what you can do as an AWPer, you're just sitting here and you wait for them to drop, because you know they can't be like pushing here. So you're just going to wait, and if nobody's dropping, then you can check this if someone is like maybe cross the smoke, and sometimes you find someone like sitting here or something like that. So that's something you could do. And at the beginning, if you want to take fast control, so let's say you want to go up the stairs really fast, you can come up here and just use this flash and then jump here, because sometimes people like to, if they have a good spawn, to come here and try to kill you, and the flash is going to explode here. Or if you have a really good spawn, what you could do, you can come up here and then just peek this, and your teammate can just come towards the stone here, and then I think it's like that. Yeah, it's a simple flash that you can throw that's gonna blind the AWPer holding this angle. So your teammate can flash like this and you can try to go for a peek. And if you hear that they're rushing, just cancel it, maybe throw a Molotov and fall back and try to get onto the side. I like playing from the side with the knob, because you can dance around the statue, and it's really hard to kill you if you're like staying like really close to the statue and you're going for these kind of mini peeks with your AWP. It's really hard to kill you with a rifle. It's really annoying to play against. And your second guy, your rifler, can make sure that nobody is like pushing you or rushing out these stairs. And your third guy, what he should do at the beginning of the round, he should always come here, throw a molly like this, and then he can wait here. I would prefer to have him on the right side, because when it's a B rush, it's a lot better to have like 3 players on the right side than just 2 players and 1 sitting in window, because there's not much he can do. Obviously he can rotate, but I think it's a lot better if he's already on the right side. So you can throw a molly. So then you can wait. You can maybe throw smoke later on. You can use flashes, or you can just mini peek. Something what one of my teammates like to do. He's playing drop with max 7 most of the times, and when they're coming drop, he's just smoking this off, and he's coming up here, and he tries to look for close range fights with the max 7, and then someone can hold, like maybe the AWPer can hold this, or this guy right here can hold this, or maybe this guy falls back to the side and he's playing like here, and the AWPer is just sitting in chicken, and he's holding this, and he can help here as well. So basically all 3 players move a little bit more towards the right, and you let them like have to come out to fight you, and then it's pretty easy to kill this guy with an AWP. The only downside of this obviously is that you're very vulnerable to an A-split. So you need to make sure that it's not that kind of obvious what you're doing, or you're not doing it like every single round. So I told you in the beginning that it's very important to take Titanic control, in my opinion, and I wanted to show you a few ways how you can do that. So if your rifler is coming up here and you didn't, like, he's not hearing any steps, and he's telling you, okay, they're not rushing, he can smoke off like this. What the fuck? A little bit higher. He can smoke off like this. Or what he can do, he can throw a Molotov. I'm just gonna wait for the smoke to fade. That is like really deep. That makes sure that no one is in this corner right here. So you need to come up really close to the edge of the wall. And if you molly then like that, this molly makes sure that no one is in this corner. And this is very useful for you, because now you know no one can be here. And then you can just simply throw a smoke. You don't need to run, just aim like that. Or a little bit more towards the right, I guess. Yep. And then you got a really easy deep smoke. And then, as I told you, your AWPer can just wait here, and if your teammate is telling you, okay, he's doing the Molotov, he can do this flash, and then just come up here. And this is going to be smoked off, so here's a smoke. One thing you need to be very careful about now is the boost on top, like here. People can boost up here, and it's very likely because you smoked off like the main entrance, and then they're trying to like look over the smoke, maybe from here or from here. So I think this is a very easy peek. You can still flash it if you want to. A good flash would be you just go with your back against this wall, and then you aim a little bit more towards the right of this like roof, and then it drops like that, and it's like almost impossible to dodge. So, and then you can peek this. A little trick that you can do is when the smoke is a little bit deeper and you can still see the boxes, you can wallbang right here, and then it's gonna kill anyone sitting behind the boxes or standing behind the boxes. Then what you can do, you can use the deep smoke, which is very easy. You just come into this corner right here, and you aim at this this exact point, and then the smoke is just going to land there. And then if you're really like scared of an AWPer sitting here, for example, what you can do is you do the smoke, and then you just aim at this like little window, and this flash is gonna flash anyone sitting here, and then you can peek. So what you do, you let your teammate molly, and then you're crossing. You don't need to flash then, I think. Can just go. Then what I will do, just wait for your teammate to smoke. Like, he's telling you, okay, I'm smoking. And then as soon as the smoke explodes, you can hold this. And then just wait. And then you can do the other smoke when this one is fading. The flash. And then you can come here and wait for someone to re-peek here. Or someone to come out of this corner. And then your rifler can help you. So, and when this is cleared, and maybe your rifler can bang this a little bit, then you can play like a control setup. In my opinion, once you have taken B long control, you should play a setup where you can spot really deep into the B long, because then you have enough time to tell your teammates that it's probably going to be B, or that they're retaking B long control, so that you're buying time for your teammates to rotate. Because when you're sitting like with just 3 people or 3 players on B, and one is in drop, maybe even on the window side, and you're just holding passively, and they're like sneaking up with 4 people, and then just one flash comes and they're just rushing onto the side, it's very, very hard to hold the B side then. So that's why I think it's really important for you to hold an angle like this. A very cool setup that you can run is to have your AWPer sitting like this, if like you already cleared this. Maybe you can use your Molotov as well to clear this. And then you let your AWPer sit like here and hold this. And you let your rifler basically just sit here. And he's holding drop. And your other teammate could be in window, like here. Use this angle. And what you can do then is when they're coming B, this guy can go for one, like the first shot, and then he can fall back and bait a little bit. And when they're trying to rush him, like when they're coming out here, most of the times what they do, they're like really focused, and when you're not showing yourself, they're trying to come, and they're not going out like this because they're scared of you shooting them from the side. Sometimes I will say when they're retaking B long control, or very often, they're gonna use this Molotov. And then you just have to fall back, or you need to go aggressively. It depends on how confident you are. If you want to like re-peek, something that you could do, you could let, if your drop player is close enough, if he's on the right side, he can flash for you, like a simple flash like that, or like that. And then you can just peek with it. If you spotted them, that's something you could do. Or you can just fall back. But the setup I wanted to show you is like you have one guy, like the AWPer sitting here, taking the first shot and then just baiting. And you have the other teammate watching drop from here. And when they're coming B, like from B long, he's moving towards this area right here, where the flowers are. Because now he can't be shot from drop. And if they're trying to kill him, it's gonna take them a lot of time to come here or to come here. They can't really use this way because then they're gonna get shot in the back. So they have to run up here, and it's like really, really bad for them to run like up like this. So then this guy is just holding an angle like that, and when they're trying to get this guy, they're gonna get shot from this guy. So that's a pretty cool setup that you can run. Or when you're forced to fall back, you can get back into the chicken area with your AWP, and then you let your rifler hold this angle, or like this angle. And when you're standing here, most of the times you're not gonna get flashed, and you can re-peek, you can kill them very easily when they're dropping. And you can have your AWPer sit here, hold this, or sit here and hold this, and then repeat like that when your drop guy is playing on window, or you could, as I told you, let your drop guy maybe set up a crossfire with this guy, like he's holding like this and he's holding like this, and then your AWPer is holding like this. So these are very good crossfires that you can set up. So I told you it's very important to take Titanic control. You should use your utility to block off rushes, like if you hear them. You should use it to block off rushes. And if you don't hear them, you should use it to take belong control. So you have very good intel about like what they're doing, or if they're taking belong or not. The playstyle with 3 guys on B also depends a little bit on if you have a fast rotator or not. Like if you're playing on A with like 1 fast rotator, I'm not gonna talk about the rotator in this role because I'm gonna do that in the A video. But if you have someone close to the door, you can be a little bit more focused towards the right side of the B side, because this guy can easily just hold the window drop. Like when they're coming B, he can just fall back, or he can hold it from here, or just come here and hold it. And when he's here, he can not just hold window, but he's also very fast on like this area, in this area right here, to help you guys. So as I told you at the beginning, this guy could just smoke off drop if they're coming, and then move towards the Titanic, and then let your AWPer just go into chicken or stay here and hold this area like that. And if you don't have a fast rotator, you need to be a little bit more careful. You need to change up your things, especially on a drop, on the drop zone. It's very important to make it very hard for the T to know if you're on the left side or on the right side, because when they know that you're on the left side, it's very likely that you're gonna try to do an A split, and if you're not ready for that, or the setup on A is not good enough for that, then you're probably gonna lose the round. And if they know that you're just sitting in front of the window, and they know from previous rounds that most of the times there are just 3 guys on B, they're gonna probably just execute on B. And that's why it's important to have this like deep control, so you know, okay, they're coming B. And this is very important, especially on late round, because when they're just 20 seconds left and you spot them running like out of the B lobby coming towards belong, you probably know that they're coming B, and you can play very defensively and set up like really defensive crossfires, because when the T's are coming out here, what they want to have when there's not much time left, they want to have duels. Like they don't want to run out here and then be exposed to like a lot of angles and then get shot from like different angles. They want to come up here, and they have the AK, they have the clear advantage against you with the name 4, and they want the duels. So when there's not much time left, set up very defensive crossfires, and yeah, just be annoying. Like set up good defensive crossfires, do some damage, and then maybe just deny the plant, and then maybe the round is already won. So that's about it, I think, for the 3-man B hold. I think it's not a good idea to boost up on the tree when you have just 3 guys on B, because then you don't have any control. As I told you, they can just come up here and do like some flashes and explode B. You can do that when you have 4 players on B. I think then it's viable. But with 3 players, you almost always want to take control of this belong area. And if you don't have enough money to afford an ARP, you need to be very aggressive, in my opinion. Like you can come up here, smoke like this, and then you can just fight for Titanic control. If you hear them using this smoke, or you see them using this smoke, you need to be careful about someone being like sitting in this corner. Something that you can do then is just flash like this or like this. I think there's a flash that you can use, but what you can do also is like throw not like that, throw a flash like that, like really simple. It looks really stupid, but it's actually really effective. You can use flashes like that as well, but you need to call them obviously for your teammates. Or what you could do is use Molotov obviously, but I wouldn't use a Molotov in this area unless my teammate is telling me, okay, they're rushing like really heavily and you see a lot of flashes for it, like coming about the roof. Then you need to get close here, because when you have just FAMASs and rifles, you're probably not gonna hold this side like from here against AKs, especially when you don't have a fast rotator. So maybe when you have 2 players on long, because it's gonna take ages for them to rotate towards the B side. So you need to be very aggressive. One cool thing that one of your A players could do still is, let me quickly, could, like at the beginning of the round, he could come up here, aim like that, and then throw smoke like that, which is really simple, and it allows you to save 1 smoke. So you can use the Molotov, the deep one I showed you, and then you can take control of B. And then you have still 2 smokes left, and you can do 2 times this smoke, or like re-smoke like this, and then later on do the deep smoke and use some flashes and stuff like that, and Molotovs. Like, you have a lot of options, as I told you. But in my opinion, you need to be very aggressive when you have just 2 rifles on B, because I think you have a much better chance like winning these close range chaotic fights where they can flash and get naded and Molotov. If you make them fight like here and you make them stuck onto this area, I think it's a lot easier for you to win the round than it is when you let them just fight you from here when you're back on the side, or you even let them come out like this. Then it's really hard to kill them, in my opinion, especially when you have just 3 guys. So I think that's it about the B side. I could show you some little flashes that you can use, or smokes. So if you want to re-smoke the B entrance from the side later on, you can just come up here and aim like that, and then that's gonna land right there. A flash that you can use is just aim at this little flag and then let it go, and this is gonna flash everyone like in the B long area. It looks pretty stupid when you're throwing it, but it's actually really good. So it's like this. And what else? I showed you this smoke, like that's something you could do. This smoke, obviously the Molotov I showed you, it's like this, like it's very simple. The flash from here, that's something you could do. You can throw a flash like this, which is very good. That's something you could do. You could smoke off this as well. That's a pretty cool way if you have a fast rotator, or someone that is. Sometimes you have like 4 players on the B side at the beginning of the round, and then you just let him fall back, and he can do this smoke, for example. It's a deep one. You just come into this corner and you aim like that, and then you just have this smoke right there. So that's something you could do. And your drop guy obviously can do a lot of things. He can do this Molotov. He can throw smoke like that. He can throw a one-way like that, which is pretty cool. That's something you could use. Can flash here like that. I think the better way is to double cast it. So you just double cast your flash, and then you just run against the wall. It's a little bit shorter, but you can do it without if you want to. Just get your back against this wall and then just aim like that. That's something you could do. Yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. Obviously you can flash for your teammates like that. And yeah, I think that's it for the video. And I hope you guys like it. If you did, leave me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content like that. And I'm probably gonna do the A side video in the next few days or the next week. So stay tuned for more. And yeah, that's it, guys. See you next time. Bye.